First of all, I'd like to thank the chair and the committee staff for their thoughtful technical amendments. I gladly accept them. SB 12, this is the second of my 4-bill middle class and working poor tax relief package. I want to thank the committee for already passing my child care tax credit. As inflation, gas prices, rental costs, utility prices, child care, and the state income tax all increase, middle class and working poor in California are falling behind, finding themselves having more month than money. That's why I'm offering a package of tax relief bills, or as defined by the revenue folks here in the Capitol, tax expenditures. But SB 1211 is more than just an expenditure. It's an investment in a worker's future, in their career. I hope that you agree with me that it's worth spending to invest in workers by making it easier for employers to provide apprenticeships for what the committee analysis describes as, quote, disconnected youth. My first bill today, the second in the package, is SB 1211, is a tax credit for qualified apprenticeship programs. This bill will match employees' wages up to $2,500 while as an apprentice. According to the report cited in the analysis, 1 in 7 Americans between 16 and 24 years of age is neither working nor in school. That's 5.8 million young people. In fact, the top 2 counties in the country are here in California, both Riverside and San Bernardino. The lack of job readiness and training are a problem, and the apprenticeships need to be a big part of that solution. With me today is Cynthia Bridges of the Office of Honorable Jerome Horton, member of the State Board of Equalization and the sponsor of this tax relief package.
Please go ahead.
Good morning, Vice Chair and members of the committee.
You can move that mic over a little bit. There.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Member Horton has made several observations. One, the way business is conducted in California is changing. With the advances in technology and automation, corporations are becoming more efficient, and there is a growing opportunity for skilled workers within every industry. Secondly, millions of workers were displaced from long-term jobs during the recession. While some were reemployed at lower wages than at their previous jobs, others remained unemployed due to skill deficits. And third, there is a shortage nationally with regard to skilled workers in the construction industry, which is also creating a crisis. This, in turn, has negative impacts on economic development for the state, as well as the recently enacted measures to address California's housing crisis by causing construction delays and inflating budgets to accommodate out-of-town workers. That is why he is supportive of Senator Stone's introduction of SB 1211, which will encourage California employers to hire and train new workers in the construction, trades, manufacturing, healthcare, and tourism industries. And he asks for your support.
Thank you. Any other witness?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Richard Markson on behalf of the San Diego, Southern California, and Central California chapters of Associated Builders and Contractors, the Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors of California, and the Western Electrical Contractors Association. They're all sponsors of apprenticeship programs in the construction trades. This is a modest contribution in the terms of state support for apprenticeship. Most of the employers that will indenture an apprentice are making a 5-year commitment to these apprentices where they're not only paid prevailing wage, but they receive pension contributions and health care benefits both for themselves and their family. This is a reasonable measure and indicates the strong support of the legislature for apprenticeship as the path to careers. We support it strongly. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Any witnesses to testify or stay of opposition? Seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good Good morning, Danielle Kandel-Kaiser on behalf of the California Tax Reform Association. We fully support expansion of apprenticeship programs, but we believe that a more efficient way to reach the author's stated goal is to expand on current apprenticeship programs in the state rather than this. We urge your no vote.
Thank you. Colleagues?
Senator Nguyen, can I just make
Lada?
a comment as we're voting on all these tax credit bills? I just, as the chair of appropriations, just want to know that I am supporting some of these, but we'll be looking at these, all these tax credit bills and tax deductions, sale tax exemptions under a different lens. When they're in appropriations committee, we take everything into account in terms of the suspense files. So I just want to make that note as we're, I don't want to confuse my vote for some of these to express support while we're in deliberations in the suspense file.
Thank you.
Through the chair, we're all very aware of the chairman's scrutiny.
Senator Bell?
Yeah, do these apprenticeship programs have to go through some certification in terms of the apprenticeship program to be eligible for the tax credit? In other words, you know, I can call, you know, somebody an apprentice and then claim a tax credit, but do they have to go through some kind of certification to be formally declared an apprentice?
I'm going to defer to my witness, but absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, I would concur with the response provided by Senator Henderson, in that, yes, the program would be administered through the agency, is it the Division of, or the Department of?
Industrial Relations. Industrial Relations, which oversights apprenticeships.
Yes, there is a special program in one of the agencies that currently administers apprenticeship programs, and they would also be the one to certify the apprentices for this particular measure as well.
Would that be the Division of Apprenticeship Standards?
Yes, thank you very much.
I was just whispered that. That is
kind of went blank.
So they have in their program a number of current people that are registered in that program as an apprentice presently. Are present enrollees eligible for this, or is this just new apprentice? So we
If
get
I
a
may-
tax credit to somebody who's already in the apprenticeship program.
I think this particular measure is silent on that, but certainly if that is an area that is of interest, then perhaps, you know, amendments can be considered to specifically state that. I did happen to also notice that in some of the statistics provided by the DAS, that there is a low participation rate also by women. I think it's only, as of their last report, 6% of the participants were women. That could be another area that could also be considered.
My personal opinion is I'm very open to taking an amendment, but I had always thought in terms of growing the programs, and that this would be an impetus to grow the program and bring more people in.
The reason I asked, I saw a report recently, there was like 50,000 apprentices. Okay, some of that, you know, there's a large number that are already registered in the system. And if these people have to be registered in the system, you know, you want to be very clear about that. You know, I can call anybody an apprentice and then get a tax credit. That's not, you know, you don't want that. So the other question is, what kind of apprentices, is there a range of eligibility, or is it any apprentice?
There are just some basic eligibility requirements.
Are only certain types of jobs registered under the law to be classified as an apprentice? Are some is there a limit to the types of apprentices in existing statutes? Mainly, I would assume construction. I know we have apprentices there, but I don't know if other industries have apprentices.
Yeah.
And if there's,
We have an
this
expert.
mainly a construction thing?
We have an expert, if I may defer to our expert.
Through the chair, Senator Bell, the Division of Apprenticeship Standards, in addition to the typical construction trades, which make up the bulk of registered apprentices in California, mostly construction. However, there are apprenticeships that are approved in manufacturing, cosmetology, healthcare. There are new programs that are actually sponsored by the state of California for IT services. Those are all relatively small. Certainly, over 90% are in the construction trades right now. And the bill only applies the credit for the first 2 years that the apprentice is registered in the program. So in terms of your concern about growing the program or the number of apprentices that are already indentured, past the second year, the employer would no longer be eligible for the credit.
Let me,
Okay,
I believe it's.
okay, I'm asking some specific questions because I've, as you know, studied this issue very carefully with my other legislation.
Senator,
I would like to know at some point, as we proceed with this bill, what kind of apprenticeship programs are eligible for this tax credit? You give me a list, that would help.
yeah, so, and I'm sure Senator Anderson can get that, but the non-traditional programs stated here is, of course, as mentioned, healthcare, advanced manufacturing, and also information technology as well.
Yeah, but they have to be registered under they have to be a registered apprenticeship program, see, is what I'm.
Right. The Division of Apprenticeship Standards go through a comprehensive analysis of applicants to sponsor a state-registered apprenticeship program, and they are scrutinized. And if they are in the construction trades, then those programs have to be approved by the California Apprenticeship Council.
And the Apprenticeship Council can add like 100 different categories tomorrow if this bill passes. That's one of the, you see what I'm getting at?
It's unlikely, Senator.
Well, that's what I wanted. Who controls that?
Yeah, the labor code is very specific on expansion of construction trades programs. There's what's called the needs test in Labor Code Section 3075 that requires a
Labor shortage definition.
Actually, it requires an analysis that the existing apprenticeship programs in that region cannot adequately support the apprenticeship needs before new programs in the construction trades can be added.
All right, I'll confer with the author on this a little bit. I think, Madam Chair, I think I support the bill. I just have these questions. I think if we're going to give a benefit with the tax credit, it should be for new area. And secondly, it probably should be for areas where there's significant defined labor shortages in fields that we need critical workers in that could benefit from an apprenticeship program. I know construction is obviously going to be one, since over the next few years we're going to do a lot of construction due to SB1. I just want to make that little comment. And there's going to be a lot of construction due to the housing and the construction industry. But there's also other areas that we need labor shortage, like healthcare. We have a critical shortage of educators. There's other, and I don't know if the division has some kind of criteria to direct the tax credit to areas California has a labor shortage in. So anyway, I'm just asking that question so we kind of, maybe we can define the public benefit a little more on the tax credit.
Well,
Thank you.
Senator Bell, I think that you make, through the chair, I think that you make some excellent points. I think that one of the things that we should consider that you brought up that I hadn't thought of is this money should not go to apprenticeships where jobs are not waiting for those folks. To go through training and then not have a place to be employed makes no sense. Right. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, and we'll go back and look at that to ensure that there's a career path at the end of the apprenticeship.
Right.
Thank you. Any other comment? Senator Morlock?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Lara was good to talk about the appropriations hurdle. And then the next hurdle is the governor, should it get to his desk. And he's been pretty consistent, as long as I've been here, that he seems to veto credit bills. I'm just curious what the strategy is to get his autograph on this bill.
My strategy is to get an aye vote from you today and move to the next committee, regroup and go. Getting to the governor's desk is so far away. I still have to go through the assembly. I have to go through an Ironman of a chairman and appropriations. There's a lot of hurdles. So I'm just, all great tasks start with little steps. And this is just another little step in that path.
So currently, we're probably at our lowest unemployment numbers in quite some time. So is this, if this is a credit to encourage hiring, I'm wondering if this is the right time, or are you expecting the recession that Governor Brown's been talking about to start on January 1st, 2019 and go through 2024?
I'm not as lofty.
You might be a prophet, so that's why.
I'm not as lofty in my thoughts. It's very simple to me. When you make an investment in a young person's life, of giving them the qualifications and the training to have a career, you've, one, improved their life, and two, created a taxpayer for the next governor for his budget. So I'm looking at, we can invest in these people on the front end, or we can pay for them on the back end when they're not taxpayers. They're in our prisons or they're on the streets. And so I'd rather make that investment up front. Now, I don't think that everybody needs to go to college to have a great career. And I think that these apprenticeship programs that we're talking about are fantastic programs that give people careers. I think it's incumbent upon us not to think in terms of jobs, but careers, and allowing people to control their own destiny. I think it's just really important. I don't know if the economy is going to collapse today, if it's going to collapse tomorrow, or if it's going to grow. But I do know that after they finish these apprenticeships, they'll have skill sets for life that will provide for them, it will allow them to provide for their family and their future in a career. And Madam Chair, if you like, I'm happy to use that as my close.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll move the bill with the amendments, as he said.
This is due pass as amended to appropriations. Please call for the vote.
McGuire, Nguyen.
Aye.
Nguyen, aye. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Lara. Morlock. Did I call Bell?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Senator. Bell.
Aye.
Bell, aye. Yeah, 2-0.
2-0. We will hold a roll call open.